Jimbo. I got to tell you, this week for people of our age, of our ilk, boy, has this just been a real shitty week. We lost Theo Huxtable, who apparently seemed to be maybe the only good member of the Cosby Show, looking back at things in hindsight. And then we just lost Ozzy, literally, 2 weeks after his final show?
Yeah.
And that one stung. And then yesterday, we lost the immortal Hulk Hogan, gone at the age of 71. And for someone like me who, as a small child, grew up in Hulkamania, I lived it. It ran wild, but I had the headband, I had the shirts, I had the wrestling buddies. I don't remember the stuffed wrestling buddies. Everybody remember those? And
yeah.
And I had all that. So yesterday was rough. So not great. Not great for us old heads out here. But you know what? We're gonna push on through. We got to keep. The world keeps on spinning. Everybody. That's one thing that I've learned from my mother and from other people in this world. It's like, doesn't matter what happens. The world keeps on spinning. Life keeps on going, and that means we have predictions to make. And today we are predicting the AFC South, I believe it is, which is going to be very important to Hamster here, because as he is a sometimes Titans fan and sometimes Falcons fan, so he'll be alive in the chat. Join us in the chat too, won't you? Friday forecast right here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome everybody to the Friday forecast. It's your boy King. It's your good friend Jimbo. Sorry for the sputtery look of whatever the fuck is going on with either Zoom or the internet and Zoom. I don't know. We are definitely glitching the fuck out today, but thank you for bearing with us through all this. And we'll try to get through it. We'll try to get through it together. By the way, if you want to help us out, like, share, subscribe, those buttons right there helps us out tremendously. Thank you so very much for doing that. I know I've been saying the last couple of weeks, hey, get us to 500, and we'll reach monetization. Apparently, YouTube re-upped that back to 1,000. For a while, they did say they were at 500, and now they're back to 1,000. So. Boy, really hit that share, really hit that subscribe, really does, we really do need that. Hit the likes too, helps with the algorithm, all that good shit. Also, if you want to help us out in a little bit more tangible fashion, we have our donation station and merch store links in the top of the chat, which is wide open. Come in, say hi, say hello, say how you're doing, and we also have them in the description below this video in case you're not watching us live and are not in the chat. You can go and check those same links down there. Donate anything you like. If you donate more than $35, you get your name on a ticker, replacing Pecan, who's been there for almost a full year now. So you go ahead and donate whatever you would like. That would help us out tremendously. And, of course, all the merch stuff. We got new merch. It's coming all the time. We have a Bengals Sell the Team shirt. We've got Tampa Bay 8-bit helmet. We've got Eagles. We've got Bills, the Charging Buffalo wing for the Orchard Park Mafia. We got it all there. It's all there. You want to go check that out and help us out. Thank you so very much. Links in the top of the chat and in the description below, as I mentioned. Jimbo, how are we doing on this Friday as we're getting ready to head in 6 days away from NFL football, by the way?
Yes.
Some kind of NFL football, but it is NFL football.
The Ozzy thing, when Ozzy passed away, it was kind of obvious. He didn't have much time left.
I didn't know, because yes, he had Parkinson's. Yes, he was having the spinal issues. He was having problems. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, if you watch that final show of his, like, you could still tell, like, he had to sit in that throne, obviously, because of all the other issues, but he was still he had energy. He had presence. He was with it, as much as Ozzy could be with it,
Yeah.
He was Ozzy still, so and that's not a knock. Ozzy would tell you the same thing. He's like, I
Yeah.
forget things sometimes. Fuck off. But for it to be so soon was like, I figured that was going to be his last show, and he'd have at least a couple more years. But it just that just didn't happen that way, unfortunately. And what a blow that was, finding that out.
And then yesterday with the Hulk Hogan thing, I saw it on X or Twitter, and I was like, first reaction, I was about to just button smash to you, hey, Hogan passed away, but it was like the one I saw was TMZ Sports or something.
Right.
And I was like, am I getting got here? Or
No,
something?
that's the one thing. TMZ has become very reliable.
Yeah. And then I saw it literally as it was coming out, and it sucked, man. I will say that the meme I saw about Ozzy and Hogan, I think I say this. Ozzy's first thing he did as a ghost was he came down and took Hogan with him. I'll send the meme to you.
You're trying to explain a meme on a medium that doesn't really translate. I love you, Jim. I love you, Jimbo. Never change.
I'm not good at that.
But no, you're not. Again, sorry for the glitchiness.
I will say one quick story about Hogan. Me as a kid growing up, my mom is the one that got me into watching wrestling, and obviously you've met my mother plenty of times.
Yes.
Very quiet. Kept to herself.
Very much so.
Every time,
yes. Yes.
Unless she got pissed off, then you fucking ran.
Which I haven't seen, so thank God.
Oh wow, okay.
I've never pissed off your mom. Your mom loves me.
But I thought maybe some of the other patrons may have.
Maybe, but I guess I wasn't around for it, or I just didn't see it. Yeah. So.
But I forget who Hogan was fighting. The one of the pay-per-views, and he was just getting his ass kicked. And it was towards the end of the match. He's getting pinned 1, 2, and he kicks out, and he does the
Hulk up, right?
The Hulk up, and that's when I heard my mom go, yes, and like even the hands going. I was like,
yeah.
Who's this person? I don't know.
Dude, I can't tell you the amount of memories, of Hogan as a kid. I remember one of my first memories I have is my dad taking me to the Meadowlands, Brendan Byrne Arena at the time, seeing a WWF event. And the main event for that show was Hogan versus Adorable Adrian Adonis.
Okay.
And they got all bloodied up, and it was like, it was the 80s. And Hogan up went, and I remember being on my dad's shoulders and going nuts for it. There was also Jake the Snake was there, and I was like so excited to see. And these couple of business assholes stood up in front of us, and my dad picked me up and said, "Yeah, these assholes," so I could see Damien. The Snake, because I was like, that was one of the coolest things, Jake the Snake Roberts and Damien, as a kid. But yeah, I remember that being there, and again watching when SummerSlam started. As a pay-per-view, that was always like one of my birthday gifts as a child. Was like my parents would buy SummerSlam because it was always happened around late August, and my birthday is August in late August, so they would do that. And I'd be able to watch it, and especially at that time in the 80s, every pay-per-view main event was fucking Hulk Hogan. I mean, you look back on it, it's like, yeah, because he was Hogan, he was politicking backstage and all the other stuff that we know about. But as a kid, like, there was nothing closer to a real-life superhero than Hulk Hogan. Say your prayers, take your vitamins, It was something. So looking back on it now, I'm 43 years old, almost 44, as I said. We're coming up to August now, and we got SummerSlam coming up pretty soon. Looking back at my younger years, formative years, that one That one hurt yesterday.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. My nephew texted me out of nowhere, and when he texts that, he's 14 years old or something, so he doesn't know really anything about Hogan, but he texted, he's like, Hulk Hogan died. And I was like,
Yeah.
my first reaction was just, no! And then I went and looked it up, and sure enough, he was gone. So that is what it is. But, like I said, it's been a shitty week all around. Like we said, we've had 3 pretty terrible goddamn deaths. But it's time to look on the bright side. Because football is on the way again next week, next Thursday. And this is something else that was brought up. This is there are no more Thursdays without football. Yes. Be it preseason or whatever. We are, as I punched the mic, we are, keep it quick. Yeah, I was going to say, it's not bad. At least it wasn't in a ranting fury like on Wednesday.
I was going to wear my Allen Iverson jersey, but I figured out.
Practice. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. Be that as it may. We are, we are now. We're in the ramp up period. We're in getting ready for the cycle. Man, this glitchiness is really fucking with me. I'm really struggling with our.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it's doing on the stream.
So. With our freezing and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe it's OBS. Maybe it's just OBS. I don't know because the OBS is telling me what's going out there. So I don't know. Hamster in the chat. ELS is currently train hunting. ELS Train Tuber 501. Go check him out on his own YouTube channel. But he is currently out there hunting trains as we speak, also watching us. So big shout out to ELS. Chat's open. Come in and say hi, say hello, say how you doing. Hamster in the chat, by the way. Want to let us know that some guy bet $100 on the New York Giants to beat the Tennessee Titans in the Super Bowl coming up this year. I wonder what those odds are.
And why bet 100? I mean, you could probably bet $1 and
still get a pretty significant return on your investment of that one. 100, I don't know. You might be talking about a couple million here. I don't know. But that's that is that's a good point, Jimbo. That's a good point. All right. Well, enough hemming and hawing and beating around the bush and talking about dead celebrities, which is just wholly fucking depressing. Let's talk about football. Well, I don't know. This could be depressing. It is the AFC South. Let us head over to the big board. Beep. Look at that. I love the transitions. I'm sorry. I get all giddy about graphics. It's just what I do. So yes, we are going to go. We're going to predict Friday forecast ourselves the AFC South. By the way, as I punched the microphone again, boy, that's 2 today. We're up to 2. We have set up the Friday forecast picks league as well. We already know we have the fantasy league out there. I'm going to keep on posting about that. You can go check on any of our socials. The link is for the fantasy football is out there. Go on in there. We got a couple more people in there. It is filling up, so go check that out. But also, we now have our Stay Tuned Sports Friday forecast pick'em, where you can go ahead and pick against me and Jimbo for every NFL game every single week and see if you could do better than us. I bet you could. I really, really think you can go ahead and do that. I think that's a real good possibility. But also, you get to compete against other people in the Stay Tuned Sports community and see if you will end up at the top of the list at the end of the season. Again, those links are available right now over on our social media, and I'll post them out now. Actually, if you want to do the one, I know it's the same. It's bit.ly as I do with everything. bit.ly/STS FF Pick'em, is that what it is? I don't know. I don't want to give you guys the wrong address. So again, I know I just put it together. There's a QR code. You can scan it. Makes it a lot easier. I had the image. I was going to put it up here. I forgot. It happens. I don't know. But we got time, so don't worry about it. Yeah. But that is available. Go check out our social medias. I sound like... Go check out our social medias, huh? Now you can't leaves. Over on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. It's all over there. At ST Sports Podcast, at ST Sports Podcast. You can go see all of those there. Now, let us go ahead and talk about the AFC South. How is this going to shake out this year? What do we think is going to happen? I I've been saying, because I've been able to see how both me and Jimbo have predicted this, and I sent it actually to Jimbo today, so he would know. I'm not going to blindside him. I don't want to blindside Jimbo. I want him to understand what we're looking at here. Maybe formulate himself an argument, because I know I'm probably going to argue. I know that, and I know Hamster's going to have some words.
Yeah.
Hamster's going to have some words, and I understand it, and that's fine. But here we go. The reveal for how me and Jimbo see the AFC South going in 2025. And there we go. And I got to tell you, I am flabbergasted with how you have the AFC South going here. Jimbo, obviously you could see, he has the Houston Texans not only winning the division, he has them as the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. He has them home field advantage throughout the playoffs at 15-2. Excuse the fuck out of me. We will get to that in a second. Then he has the Indianapolis Colts with a very respectable 10-7 and also making the playoffs as the 7th seed. So he's got 2 playoff teams coming out of the AFC South. He has the Titans finishing at 7-10. And initially, I didn't get a chance to fix the graphic because you initially had the Jaguars at 3-14, and then you changed them to 4-13. Either way, you have them sucking. So you have the Jaguars finishing last. So that is how Jimbo has his AFC South. I see it a little bit differently. Obviously, as we can see here, we do seem to have. Because I want to pull this up here too, because there's a lot here. Oh, I want to get rid of this. Let me get rid of that. Hold on. And now I don't know. I've lost everything. Oh no. Okay, so just give me a second here. Okay, I have the Texans winning the division. So me and Jimbo both have the Texans winning the division.
Yeah.
However, Jimbo has them at the top of the AFC. Nobody's better. Not the Chiefs, not the Bills, not the Ravens. Nobody like that. He has the fucking Texans as his number 1 team, whereas I have the Texans. They win the division, but kind of in the argument that people have of like, well, they shouldn't have a home game then for the playoffs. I have the Texans at 8-9, losing record, but still winning the division. A game behind them, I have the Indianapolis Colts at 7-10, obviously missing the playoffs. The Jaguars, I have at 5-12, and wrapping up the division in Cam Ward's first season. I have the Titans at 3-14. Still a lot of work to do there in Nashville. We'll see if Cam Ward can be that kind of Jaden Daniels, C.J. Stroud type of quarterback. But for now, that's how I have it. Jimbo, I have to ask. The Texans at 15-2 and number 1 overall seed in all of the AFC, with the Chiefs, with the Bills, with the Ravens, with all of these teams, with the Broncos ascendant, with the Chargers still good, with all these like. Elaborate.
One, from what I remember of their schedule, I think that the schedule wasn't the hardest. I also think even though they made the playoffs last year, I think they made the playoffs last year, but it felt like a little bit of a step back they took last year. I think they get back to how they were 2 years ago. As far as the Chiefs go, and you guys will see when we get to that division, I think the Chiefs are not how they were, 3-4 years ago. There's, you got Travis Kelce getting older, stuff like that. I think the Texans are starting to catch up to them. Still got a little bit of ways to go. Just looking at their schedule, I actually have them starting off. I don't know. Maybe I was drunk when I did this.
No, I'm starting to think you hit the Jameson a little much.
I actually have them starting off 12-0.
Who, the Texans?
Yes.
Okay, because now this is where I have to interject. I have to interject because this is what I mean. I have the schedule here. I have how I did it here. They start off against the Rams in LA. Now, I understand neither the Rams or the Chargers really have a great home field advantage. They don't. Yeah. I get that. But still, I think the Rams are a lot better team than the Houston Texans are. Right? You can't be serious. In what way do you think? Like, how? I don't understand this thought about why you think the Texans are so good. The Texans are not that good of a team. Their offensive line was a big problem last year, and they lost Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah, and
so that you're talking about that's not great. Then Joe Mixon, I believe, is still out. So they don't have the running back they had there. They don't have Stephon Diggs, whether or not he was going to. Yes, you still have Tank Dell. Yes, you still have Nico Collins. Those are great. If they can stay healthy, which has been a problem. So there's that. And then the defense they have is, again, not anything spectacular. Not anything great. And they got lit up a whole bunch last year. So sitting there trying to tell me that you think this Texans team now is going to all of a sudden, just out of the fucking blue, turn into the next Kansas City Chiefs, you're out of here. With this schedule.
I'm not saying there's not going to be a dynasty.
With this schedule, you have them. You have them. Okay, week 1, Rams. You have them beating the Rams. That's crazy. I have the Rams winning that one. Week 2, Buccaneers. You have them beating the Buccaneers. I have the Buccaneers winning that game. Week 3 against the Jaguars. I haven't beaten the Jaguars. That's fine. I think we both obviously haven't beaten the Jaguars because you still have them starting off 12-0. Week 4 against the Titans. I have them beating the Titans. Okay. Week 5 against the Ravens. You have them beating the Ravens in Baltimore.
Yeah. It just feels like one of those.
You're fucking insane. I love you. I love your crazy ass. Don't get me wrong, but fuck off. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding. ELS says he has the Texans at 13-4. I think that's fucking wild. That is wild to have the Texans even at 13-4. Even with 2 less wins, that's still wild to me. I can't see the Texans, because this is what I mean. Then they have a bye. Then they play Seattle. I gave them the win in Seattle, but that's a game that Seattle can very much win, especially if Sam Darnold is playing well and playing like Sam Darnold of last year, well, at least the early part of last year. That's when I think Seattle can win, but I do have the Texans winning. Week 8. I know you hate the 49ers. If the 49ers can stay healthy, I think they win that game in Houston, but I can understand if you switch that game.
You're doing
but
a
that's
lot of ifs.
No, so are you. You have them winning in Baltimore. I don't want to hear shit.
On paper.
On paper, they don't beat Baltimore. On paper, they don't beat Baltimore.
We'll see.
I can understand the argument about the Niners game 1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. So even if you switch that game, it still doesn't change much. Then they play the Broncos week 9. Broncos are winning that game easy, handily. The Broncos are winning that game. Week 10, Jaguars, I think they sweep the Jaguars. Week 11, Titans, I think they sweep the Titans. So there's their game there. Week 12, Buffalo. So you have them beating the Ravens at home, and you also have them beating the Buffalo Bills in Week 12.
Yeah.
Week 13 against the Colts, I have them beating the Colts that week. Because it's always iffy. Because they and the Colts, no matter how good or bad they are, they always end up fucking splitting their series. That's how I was looking at that. Week 14 against the Chiefs in Arrowhead, that's the Chiefs win. Week 15 against the Cardinals, I have them winning. Week 16 against the Raiders, I have them winning. Week 17 against the Chargers, I have the Chargers winning. And Week 18 against the Colts, I have the Colts winning that last game because, like I said, it's always fucking weird when it comes to the Colts and the Texans. So for that, for me, it comes down to 8 and 9. If for the 1 or 2 games that I would switch, like even with the Niners, if I switch the Niners game, then they go 9 and 8. And I got to tell you, that's probably the only game I'm switching. They might lose to the Jaguars once or twice too, which would bring it back down to 8 and 9. So even if I switch one, I think if I switch another one, then it goes right back. So I'm thinking they're at that 8 and 9, 9 and 8. If they're extremely lucky, 10 and 7. So I think they'll get the playoff spot. I think they'll win a division and get the playoff spot no matter what, because I'm not a big fan of anybody else in that division. I like
Yeah.
the Colts. I want to see Danny Dimes do well, but I don't. I got to see it before I can believe it. That kind of situation. The Texans. I know C.J. Stroud is a good quarterback. He's going to get them some wins just based on himself. Everything else around him, though, not great as of right now.
So then let me ask you this then: if they go with your record, next season, DeMarco Ryans, is he on the hot seat because you're going to the fourth
Why?
season?
Why would he be on a high? He's first of all, he would have won 3 straight division championships. Yes, it's a low number to win a division championship, but it's a home playoff game. So if you're an owner, that's revenue. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what the fuck you do. You're bringing in revenue for me. That's great.
Do you want division champs or do you want Super Bowl champs?
You got to build. You have to build first.
Exactly. But
And that's not D'Amico Ryans. That's the general manager. But you have to. This is the thing I think people forget is just how bad the Texans situation was 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like after Deshaun, after J.J. Watt left and asked for a trade, after, dealing with Billy O'Brien and, the pastor, nominal Patriots, Filiat Spiritus Sancti, all of that, they were an absolute mess. They've had to rebound. Now, again, that first season, surprise, C.J. Stroud went nuts. They looked really good. It's like, wow, they won kind of like the Redskins last year, despite themselves. They looked really good and got really far, way ahead of schedule. Last year, bit of a self-correction. A bit of a, got to pull everything back. Understood. Fine. And they won the division basically by default. And the Colts, believe it or not, were kind of right there with them. So, again, they won a division. They made the playoffs, but it was like, because the Jaguars were garbage, the Colts were garbage, and the Titans, as we know, were the number 1 overall pick. So, I don't see where you're giving them these wins. You have them winning in LA. You have them winning in Baltimore. You have here's the thing. I thought I was being generous with the Texan schedule here, with giving them the wins that I'm giving them.
So let me ask you. So when you did your picks, did you go week by week or did you go team by team?
I'll go team by team.
All right. So
I look at the whole
week.
team schedule and I look at who they're playing, where they're playing, and how I feel that as of now, because again, once you start talking about halfway through the season, we don't know the injuries. We don't know if there's going to be this player all of a sudden is playing well or something like that. Like I have no idea if Danny Dimes is going to turn into fucking Aaron Rodgers. I don't know that. Doubt it, but it could happen. And the next thing you know, the Colts are fucking 15-2. Does that happen? Not saying it. I'm not going to go out that far and say like, oh, the Falcons and Titans are going to make the playoffs. I'm not going to go make that kind of hot take. But, so we can't see like that far into the future as much as I wish I could. But looking at everything, looking at trying to make an educated guess, and as I said before with my rankings, just trying to feel it. Just feels like that. That's what it feels like to me. But to say that the Texans are only going to lose 2 games with the teams that they're playing, who are the only 2? If you don't have them losing to the Ravens and the Bills, who the fuck do you have them losing to?
You really want to know?
Yes. Now I do. I mean, I have to know now.
All right, so I have them losing to the Colts week 13. That's when they go to the 12-game win streak ends.
Okay, and as I said, I have them splitting the Colts either one way or the other. I understand that. That's how it usually goes for them in that division. So, okay. This motherfucker's laughing already, so I know it's good. I know it's going to be good.
This is probably my best pick ever that you're probably going to lose your shit. I got the Raiders winning in week 16. Here's my thinking, though, because by that point, they're 14-1, something like that. I think they're gonna have the number 1 seed all tied up and start resting starters.
Dear sweet Lord. Here's the problem. And listen, I do like, I want to see the Raiders do well. I like the Raiders. Pete Carroll is like somebody said, I think they could do something there with him. I like Geno Smith, all the other things, but they have so many deficiencies. It feels like a team's backups could beat the Raiders, even the Texans, at that point. But to like brother, I don't know. Hamster in the chat saying King's already making excuses in case Cam Ward goes crazy. I'm not. Listen, if Cam Ward might, and like I'm saying, he might have. If Cam Ward goes absolutely apeshit, like has just an absolutely phenomenal first year, the Titans are still going to win about 8 or 9 games. So just move the Titans up to where the Texans are in that case. I don't think he's going to be able to do that much more. But to be fair, we said it about Jaden Daniels too. It's like, oh, even if he goes on a CJ Stroud stretch. Meanwhile, they made it to the NFC Championship game. So again, we don't know what we don't know, and when it comes to this fucking show, we don't know a lot. I'm telling you that. Here I am. I'm making fun of Jimbo. Meanwhile, watch the Texans go 15-2, and I'm a fucking moron. Yeah. But just looking at it from this standpoint, like I'm looking at this schedule. I can't find 10 wins, let alone 15. Like,
So I mean, as far as the Colts go, 10-7 compared to 7-10. Big jump there. Do I gotta explain that?
No. Because again, that's about a 3-game difference, and I think depending on how the Colts go, it could go one way or the other. Okay. Like I said, for me, and I see ELS. He's telling us in the chat too, and I'll go over his picks in a second because I want ELS to have his voice heard here for a second because he puts in a lot of work as well. I have the Colts beating the Dolphins in Week 1. I have them losing to the Broncos in Week 2, beating the Titans in Week 3. Sorry, Hamster. If you look at the records there, I have the Titans losing a lot, so you're gonna have to get used to that. I have them losing to the Rams because I think the Rams are that good. I have them beating the Raiders, beating the Cardinals, losing to the Chargers. They sweep the Titans. I have them losing to the Steelers, but that is one that can be switched very easily. Again, depending on if Aaron Rodgers has an Aaron Rodgers-like season or if he has an Aaron Rodgers-like season, that might depend on how that goes. I have the Falcons beating them in Week 10 in the Deutschland, in the Berlins. Then they have a bye Week 11, Week 12. I have them losing to the Chiefs in Arrowhead. As I mentioned before, Week 13 they lose to the Texans. Week 14, beating the Jaguars. Week 15, beating the Seahawks. Which again, that could be a flippy-floppy game, but I have them that. Week 16, I have them losing to the 49ers. Again, that could be another flippy-floppy game. So that's why I'm saying I'm not really upset with your 10-7 for the Colts, because I feel like there's a couple games there where it's only a couple ones where I think we could be similar. So I think 7-10, 10-7, it's in with like a plus-minus 3-game kind of margin of error. I'm not as wildly crazy about that as I am about your Texans fucking pick, having them as number 1. I have the Jaguars pulling off an upset in Week 17 in Indianapolis because they always do. The Jaguars always sweep the Colts. For some reason, no matter how good or bad they are, they always sweep the Colts. And Week 18, I have them obviously beating the Texans, as I had mentioned before. But so no, to answer your question, I'm not as like, oh my God, how could you, like, that's to me, I think that's the Colts top and bottom, I think. Okay. I think giggity. I think the Colts can be 7-10, and I think they could be as good as 10-7. Will that be enough to get them into the playoffs? For you, it's yes. You know, in actuality, how everything plays out, I'm not sure. But I think that I think the best they can do is 10-7. I don't think it's unattainable, but I think everything has to go right. Danny Dimes has to have a 2022 type season. The offensive line, which is good in Indianapolis, has to stay together. That defense, which is decent, has to play well, maybe play a little above their level. But I think they can get to 10-7. I think that's a definite possibility.
All right.
As far as any nothing to add, nothing to do.
No, you know, honestly, going into this this week or this episode, I thought it was the Colts was going to be the big. What the hell were you thinking? Not the Texans.
No, brother. When I saw that you had the Texans at 15-2 and leading the AFC into the playoffs, like, I just don't see it.
Let me throw this out there, and you know we got a couple weeks to.
Throw it
hammer this out.
Yeah, we know.
I think me and you should do some type of wager. You know,
Always with the wagering. Always with the wagering.
Not money, you know, or it's like, you know, you got where an Eagles thing if my Texans. So let's, you know, we'll talk off air about it, what we could do, and how to work it out. I mean, like, dude, 15 wins compared to 8 wins. That's
such a large gap. That's what I mean. What are we going to wager? Like, you know, if they get.
I mean.
There's nothing there. Like, I don't even know what the wager would be if they reach a certain mark. If they reach a certain amount of wins, is it? Because you're talking almost there's a almost twice. You have them winning almost twice as many games as I do.
Whoever's closer in wins will win the bet. So if they win 10 wins, or if they got 10 wins, you win. If they get 13 wins,
all right.
We'll do that.
All right. I'm okay with that.
Figure out, you know, in the next on Wednesday or, you know, whatever, we'll announce what the wager would be.
If you
That's
you
how
say so.
Confident I am.
Because I'm looking here. ELS, he put up his predictions. He thinks that the Texans are going to go 13-4. I don't see it. Then he has the Jaguars at 10-6. He has the Jaguars making a jump there at 10-6. I'm sorry, I just don't believe in Trevor Lawrence or that team. He has the Colts at 8-8, which is kind of where we have him, right in that little sweet spot area. And he has the Titans at 4-12. Okay, Hamster right now is the only one who believes in the Titans. He's the only one who's like, I really.
Colin Cowherd.
Dude, when he messaged the STS account yesterday, it was just like, see, look it, I'm not the only one thinking the Titans do well. It's like, Hamster, I love you, brother. I really do. But using Colin Cowherd as your backup, as your reason for like, hey, see, I'm not making a bad choice. It's like, I mean, the only one worse would be Joy Taylor at this point, but my God. Because, well, here's the thing. ELS for the Jaguars, he has them beating the Panthers, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Raiders, Cardinals, Titans, Colts, Jets, and Titans. So he has them sweeping the Titans. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if they beat the Colts, and they're definitely not beating the Rams. I don't think they're beating the Rams. And here's the other thing, too, and we're going to get into this when we get into the NFC. I think the Panthers have a real shot to be one of the I'm not going to say they make the playoffs, but I'm saying they got a real chance to be one of those kind of surprise teams where it's like they're getting better. At the end of last season, seeing how Bryce Young performed after being benched and then coming back out, and how that team seems to be going, and you know, maybe Canales has got something going on there. So I'm going to give. I'm thinking the Panthers might have something there, but as far as the Jaguars, I think there's way too much weird shit happening in that building. I think there's an organizational problem from top to bottom when it comes to Khan on down. It just seems like a weird kind of structured organization and building to work in. And again, when you go last year and they're like, I think this is the best team that's ever been assembled in Jacksonville, and they shit the bed so badly. Again, can they play well? Sure, but they're going to have to show me a lot for me to get to that point. And when it comes to the Titans, again, I have them at 3-14. The only 3 wins I have for first of all, I have the Titans going really long before they get. I have Week 12 as their first win, so they're 0-10, I think, because they have a bye week at Week 10. So I have them losing to the Broncos, Rams, Colts, Texans, Cardinals, Raiders, Patriots, who I think are going to be another team better than they have been. Colts, Chargers, Texans again, and then I have them beating Seattle. For as much as I was like, Seattle could be an iffy team, we're not quite sure. I do have Seattle losing a fucking lot in this division. Then their next one I have against the Browns, which I think we can all see. And then I have them winning Week 17 against the Saints, which, not to spoil anything for anybody, but I'm not going to say how many wins I think the Saints are going to get, but I think they're getting a lot of losses. I think the Saints are going to get a lot of losses. When we hit the NFC, you're going to see, but the Saints might be historically bad this year.
Yeah, because they could be the first team to go 0-17, right? Since we went 18 games.
Yeah, because the only other 2 teams that went winless were the Lions, and I think it was 09. They went 0-16, and then the Browns went 0-16, and then the following year went 1-15. Yeah. And they still let who was it? Hugh Jackson keep it. Yeah. He had his job after 0-16. They let him keep his job, and then had one more win, and he had his job for the whole year. They didn't fire him until Browns are the Browns. You know, that just is what it is. ELS, he says, I have the Saints as the number 1 pick. Then they will go 0-17. And Hamster says the Saints are going to be tanking for Manning. Here's the thing. I don't think Manning's coming out this year. I think he's only going to. It's not the Manning way. You know, kind of like how they were like, oh, why isn't, you know, because Arch was there. And he redshirted them, and then last year he was backup, and they were like, well, if he's not going to start, you know, are they going to look to maybe transfer? Is he going to go somewhere else? And the Mannings were like, no. He's staying there. He's learning behind the starting quarterback there. That's how you properly become a quarterback. And if you're going to listen to anybody about being proper quarterbacks, Arch, Peyton, and Eli are 3 people to listen to about that. So he was, you know, it just seems like the Mannings have a certain way of doing things.
Yeah.
And going basically one and done as a college starter is not the way they do things.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Everybody's already talking about, oh, well, Arch Manning's coming out in 2026. Arch Manning, who's going to win the Arch Manning? I was like, I don't know if they're going to go ahead and have him come out. He might do 2 years at Texas as the Texas starter. So you're looking more at 2027 than you are at 2026 for him coming out. In which case, boy, if you're a team that's going to tank for that, which I don't think NFL teams tank. I don't think you can tank. You may think they are. I just think they're bad. Because, again, you're talking about players that are playing for jobs, livelihoods, paychecks here. They're not going to say, oh, let me go ahead and suck and look really bad on tape so that this team can go and get another player better. Meanwhile, I'll be cut, and now since all my film looks bad, nobody's going to pick me up in free agency, and now my career's over. Yeah. No NFL player is fucking doing that. Not a single one is doing that. So this idea that teams fucking tank, maybe the ownership would like it. Maybe other forces in there are doing. Maybe the GM is trading players away or doing things to make the team ostensibly worse. But the players on the field are never tanking.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I really get fucked about. But that being said, the Saints have a lot more problems. They were going to suck this year anyway. You know, this is Kellen Moore has a lot of work to do when it comes to New Orleans.
He regrets leaving Philly.
Listen, nobody ever regrets leaving Philly. The best thing you can ever do. Listen, I went to go see a Ghost concert in Philly on Saturday. The best feeling in the world was getting the fuck out of Philly. Trust me. God, that place is fucking terrible.
I love going to Philly. It's fun.
It is a disgusting, terrible city. It is covered in garbage and grime. It smells like ass. And you're talking to somebody who lives right next to New York City, the piss smell capital of the world. And I'd still rather deal with New York City and the disgustingness that is the subways and just New York in general than dealing with Philadelphia. It's just a gross ass city. Plus, all their teams suck and their fans suck, and I hate them. And except for you, you're a good guy, sure. Yeah.
When's the last time the Giants were good?
What was that? 2011. Yeah, 2011 is when we last won.
When's the last time the Eagles were good?
How many times have I seen my team lift the Lombardi Trophy? Was that 4? I believe that's 4 I've seen. And I've seen the Giants play in 5 Super Bowls. Plus, I've seen the Giants beat the Patriots twice in a Super Bowl. Especially in the undefeated season. It wasn't some lame-ass end-of-his-career Tom Brady win. No. We beat him in the year where they were beat everybody's ass. And the Giants went ahead and beat them. So I don't want to hear you. Shut the fuck up. You're not going to win. You're not going to win this argument. You're not going to win this. ELS in the chat talking about more of the. Oh yeah. By the way, did you see? What are your thoughts on those Packers throwbacks?
I like the helmet. The jersey. I didn't see Green Bay Packer like the account Green Bay Packers. Right. I just saw the jersey. I'm like, is this a college team or something? Like, who's this college team? I didn't even know it was Green Bay Packers.
I like it as far as a throwback. They used to have those little stripes all the way down the sleeves, but since they've eliminated sleeves on fucking football jerseys, you can only do the little bit. But it's pretty decent. The old blue and gold that they used to wear back in the day, and the leather helmet. I saw some people on there screaming like, "Oh my God, they're ripping off Illinois!" And it's like, Illinois is not the first team to do the faux leather helmet. I remember Texas A&M did it about 8-10 years ago, and they did a real nice one too, where they kind of did the stitching and the other stuff. Like, it looked really nice. The Redskins had one about 20 years ago where it just looked like leather. It wasn't quite like the leather helmet. It was just a leather, almost like skin, hydro dipped pattern they put on a helmet, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I like I do like the Packers throwback. Maybe the best one as far as the throwbacks go this year. I really wanted to like the Steelers, but I wish they just would have done like they did in '94 and switch it and have the city crest on the front and the numbers up on the shoulder. Give it a little bit more like that. But it is what it is. But not bad. It's not bad. But I do love the leather helmets. Hamster said something, but ELS.
Jesus.
The ELS just
delete.
I wish I don't know what it was, but it had to be something like leather helmets are stupid or something. I don't know. Looking at how it's ELS was like leather helmets are awesome. Hamster, shut up. It seems like the Hamster probably said a little something. Maybe he wasn't supposed to. I don't know. That's the thing. You give ELS a little. Listen. I stay out of it. That's why I made a moderator. He's there. He can mod. I don't know. We love you, Hamster. Don't go away. Don't hate us. We're fine. We love you. But yeah. So. I'm trying to think. Was there any other? The Saints came out with another one.
I will say, I think the whole Browns reveal that.
Oh, the Browns. That's the one. That's the one I forgot. You were presented by Dude Wipes, which is.
Yeah.
Are they just leaning into the fact that they look like a giant fucking turd? Like, I don't know. And I wish they would have had these helmets with the old color rush they had, because at least it had the stripes on the arms and the 2 stripes down the pants that would have matched the helmet. It would have looked nice. But instead they have stripeless pants and a stripeless jersey, so they just honestly look like fucking Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh. They look like a giant fucking turd. And, they say dress for the job you want and not the job you have. But I guess in Cleveland, those are one and the same, because they look like a giant piece of shit. They're most likely going to play like giant pieces of shit. And they're going to end the season probably as giant pieces of shit, as we saw last week when we had them, both of us, finishing in the bottom of the division. So, with all that being said, I think we're done here. As we see here, Jimbo's Texans has them at 15-2. What the fuck? and leading the AFC with the number 1 overall seed. Then he has the Colts also making the playoffs at 10-7. He has the Titans at 7-10, and the Jaguars at either 4-13 or 3-14, depends on which day you catch Jimbo. I don't know. Me, however, I have the Texans at what I feel like a far more realistic 8-9. I have the Colts at 7-10. I have the Jaguars at 5-12, and the Titans at 3-14. Because I think the AFC South is just going this year going to be one of those divisions, kind of like the last couple of years. It's just going to be which turd floats to the top. I think this year the Texans will be that turd. So there you go. That's our prediction for the AFC South. And next week, we will be going over the AFC West to close out the AFC predictions. And I'm sure there will be no controversy and no upset feelings or anything too wild about that. I'm sure that one's going to go well, considering it has the Kansas City Chiefs in there, so I'm sure you're going to be fine. I may have a little picture of Taylor Swift around here somewhere. Which, by the way, did you see the pictures that Travis posted of them in their off season together? Kind of like there was like a ski trip and skating and a couple dinners. It was very nice, very romantic. It's very, love is love, And that's what I mean. People were kind of arguing like, oh, this seems like it's all kind of sketchy. It seems like it's all, maybe it's all thing. And because people haven't seen them a lot. People have been like, well, where are they? If they're so in love, where are they? Well, they just released a couple of very nice, very romantic pictures together. Also, Taylor Swift in glasses. Yes, please. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, man.
She could be wearing a Jalen Hurts jersey, and you'll still be like, yes, I want to see her in an Eagles jersey.
Depends on how tight the jersey is, but we'll I mean, that's negotiable. That's negotiable. We could talk about that. We could say, again, she grew up in Reading, so she's right there. She was of the. She sang
bandwagon jumper.
She sang the national anthem at the Phillies World Series in 2009. I think it was 2008 or 9. Which one? Because they won in 2008, and then they lost in 2009 to the New York fucking Yankees. The last time with the Yankees were any good. I
was gonna say.
But we're almost there. Oh, Hamster said the only thing that he said was that the Packers are ugly in anything they wear. Okay, yeah, I figured that would go ahead and trigger ELS. Then don't listen, Hamster. I'm going to say this. I'm not sure about ELS, but I'm pretty sure he has like magical train conjuring powers. I would not want to fuck with a man that can like send a train through your living room. Don't fuck with that guy. Here's the thing. I don't know if he can. I'm not sure if that's an ability or a power that he does have. But why tempt fate? Why even tempt it? You know what I mean? I mean, this man, he talks to the trains. He's one with the trains. He hunts the trains. The trains will do his bidding, I believe. So just don't piss him off. That's all. That's all right. And this goes for you too, Jimbo, with all your fucking tush-push talk. Tush-push. ELS is going to send a fucking freight train right to your goddamn house and destroy all that wonderful Eagles memorabilia, which will just break my heart. But so that's good. I guess the one better way to do this. ELS says, Hamster, I can summon a train that falls from your room. There you go. See, that's... I'm not fucking with a guy that can conjure trains. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I've seen what those bad boys can do. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this very interesting Friday forecast. I certainly hope if you liked any part of this, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It helps us out tremendously, as we said. If you want to help us out in a more tangible fashion, we have a link for our donation station and our merch store in the description below this video. New merch being added all the time. And again, anything that you would want to donate to us helps us immensely, makes the show better, helps us eat food, which is wonderful. At least helps me eat food. Jimbo actually has another job. I'm a loser. So I definitely need some donations. But and it's the other thing too, and because I had a couple people contact me about it as well and being like, oh, I wish I could, but listen, only donate if you can. I'm going to say that right off the bat. Don't, like, just because I'm on here begging for money, like a fucking well, I kind of look like a homeless guy too. Just because I'm on here begging for the money for the show, do not, like, donate stuff that you can't. Do not, like, try to put yourself into debt to donate. Don't be like, well, I only have a little bit here. No. Donate whatever you feel like, but donate only what you can. Do not, at any point, fucking donate because you feel like you have to, or donate because you want to, put, you feel like it's something more than it's not. Don't donate any more than you can.
Yeah.
And if you can't, that's fine. You don't have to. Like, I just want to point that out there because it was starting to worry me a little bit because people were like, "Oh, well, I would donate, but I'm, tough. Times are tough. Times are tough for everybody. I understand that. If times are tough, then you're the person that's looking for donations. You're not the person to donate. I'm just saying that. So I'm putting it out there. Only donate if you can, and if you can, only donate what you can. That's not, so just wanted to put that out there. But if you do want to, the link for that is in the description as well as our merch store. And listen, we all need clothes. So at some point, like I said, I like the merch store option better because at least you're getting something as well. So it's kind of like donating, except, most of the money goes to the corporate people actually printing the fucking shirts, and we get a little taste. We get like a 15% taste, I think, or something like that. But whatever the case is, at least it's something. You get something out of it. We get something out of it. I feel that's more in line with America. That's more very much of the capitalistic feel that I'm 1,000% an American capitalist. So you get something, we get something. It's a great synergy of just Americanness. So again, merch store link, donation station link, that's down there in the description. Jimbo, any final thoughts on this Friday before we head into the weekend and into the first week of NFL preseason football?
Yeah, just before we go, fuck Cam Newton and his takes about Jalen Hurts. That's all. That's
no, he's right though. No, and you know me, I'm not a huge Cam Newton supporter.
You guys are making me.
But what he said is
players and
technically not incorrect. And as much as we like to shit on Cam had some incredible numbers and had a 15-1 record with the Panthers with nobody as wide receivers.
Slightly better than Jalen Hurts.
And
look it up.
Look at the numbers and look at who he had. He didn't have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith on either side of him. So you have
He had Steve Smith Sr., who was one of the best wide receivers at the time.
Stop it.
He had a running game.
I think you got you're starting to sound like Ozzy. I think you got permanent Jameson brain here. That's just crazy. But until Jesus Christ, we love you, Ozzy. We miss you, Ozzy Hulkster. I'll make sure to say some prayers and take my vitamins for you. Maybe I'll actually go out and get some real American beer too. I don't know. But until next Tuesday, we'll give you the countdown. Well, you're doing other stuff too. You might be doing the college play along, and obviously cooking with Jim Bob. That'll be coming up too. So we got there's lots of stuff on the channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get all that done. Oh yes, Good Call ELS Fantasy Football. The draft time has been set. It can be moved. This is very preliminary. But right now, the draft is set for August 31st. That is a Sunday at 4:45 p.m. Eastern time. So that's going to be like 1:45 if you're on the West Coast or anywhere else in the other time zones. I wanted to make sure that it was at least in the afternoon for most everybody because whatever. And to be fair, we're probably going to live stream it on here. So if you want to join the league, those links are available. I think they're in posts here on YouTube. We have them on posts on the social media. We have them everywhere. So, and I'll make sure to keep on posting them and putting them out there so you guys can join whatever you want at ST Sports Podcast. That is Instagram. That is Twitter. That is, I even believe, Facebook. It's all our socials. Go check them out. Go click on the links. Go join Fantasy Football and go join the new Friday Forecast Picks League and try to beat me and Jimbo at our own game, which is very, very easy to do because we're very bad at picks. But until we see you again right here on Stay Tuned Sports, for your good friend Jimbo, I'm your boy King. We will see you later. Adios, everybody.